Hi everyone, and welcome to Biology Professor. Today we're going to be having a bit of a departure from our normal format. Instead of me telling you about something, teaching a lesson with the whiteboard, I'm going to be asking some questions of my grandmother. This is Doris. She is my Mimi, and she's going to be telling us some of her memories surrounding growing up in a world where there was still polio. So you probably heard of polio. You probably know that it can cause paralysis and that it can be lethal. It's been eradicated in the United States since 1979, and it's also eradicated globally in all except 3 countries. That's Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Nigeria still have active polio. And so unless you live in one of those places, you probably don't remember or never knew what it was like to grow up with polio being a very real concern. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is my Mimi's recollections about polio. So when did you first know that polio was a disease you had to be worried about?
Oh, I think I was in my teens probably. We didn't have media and stuff like you do nowadays to tell us all those things, so it's kind of slow in getting the message.
But once you knew that polio was a concern when you were in your teens or your early 20s, was it something that you were scared of?
Yes.
Yes,
I was.
You have a story about going ice skating where you had some concerns about polio. Can you tell us that?
Well, as soon as I stood up, I fell down on my leg, on my ankle. Bad sprain. So I went home to get my shoe off. My foot was swollen. My mom took me to the doctor the next day. He wrapped it up, said it was really a bad sprain. And I think I kept that on maybe 10 days, and I went back. When he took it off, my foot was green and purple and yellow and black, and I thought, oh, Mama, I have polio.
And what did your mama say?
She said, oh, that's just bruises from being wrapped.
So you had your foot all wrapped up, so it was a little bruised and discolored,
Yeah.
But you knew that polio caused paralysis, and so when you thought there was something wrong with your foot,
Yes.
you thought maybe it was polio.
Yes.
But luckily it was not. But you did know a couple of other people who contracted polio and then had mobility issues later. Can you tell us about that?
I know of a young girl. Well, she's about your mom's age. She has real short legs. She has to wear crutches. She uses crutches. First of all, saw her, she was a little bitty thing on crutches, and she still crutches on to this day. And a friend of your papa's, I don't know how he contacted it, but he did have it, and he wanted to go hunting one time with all the boys. So your papa and his friends carried him on their back to the hunting field so he could hunt with them.
So usually because of the polio, this man had to use crutches.
He used crutches.
But in order for him to go hunting with his friends, which included my grandfather,
Yeah.
would this have been in like the 50s maybe?
Your papa, he graduated, in late 40s.
Late 40s?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So his friends would have to actually carry him on their backs through the woods because he couldn't use his crutches through the wooded area.
Yeah, because it was so overgrown.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So in order for him to participate in sort of this normal activity, he had to actually be carried by his friends because
and to this day, both of these people still wear crutches. You have to use crutches to get around. Okay. They do manage. I've seen him in his kitchen, and he has crutch under each arm, but when he's out and away, he has a motorized wheelchair that his company gave him when he retired. So that's good.
Yeah.
He can get around with that.
That's good. Do you remember being vaccinated for polio?
Well, not vaccinated. We had oral.
Yeah, it's an oral vaccine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's two vaccines, right? One developed by, you told me the
Jonas
name.
Salk.
She remembers the name, Jonas Salk. The other by Sabin.
Yeah.
And one is sort of an injectable vaccine with an inactivated virus, and the other is a weakened virus, and that's the oral drops. And you told me what it looks like. Those drops.
They put them in these little containers like they put medicine in nursing homes, and a little deal like that, and they you just drink it about a swallow. I think you maybe had to take 3 of those at different intervals,
That's still true today. If if a baby follows the normally recommended CDC vaccine schedule, they get a couple of polio vaccines before the age of 1, and then I think there's a booster around age, I'm trying to remember, maybe around age 4 or 5. So for example, my daughter has had 2 of those 3 polio shots, which means that she's over 90% protected against polio, but still needs that final booster in a couple of years to make sure that she's fully protected. When did you have the oral vaccination?
Must have been in about 1958. I was, I was expecting your mama.
So my mother was born in 59.
Yeah.
And the polio vaccine's been around since, I think it started in 55.
They started, I don't remember when they started giving it to everybody. I just know that we all went to the health center on Sunday and got this done for, I forget it, like I say, 3 different times.
Okay.
And because they could get more people that way. So we did it on a Sunday, yeah.
Okay.
And it helped.
Yes, it did. Because since then, you haven't known anybody else to get polio.
No, I haven't.
Right? So that's really good.
Matter of fact, I've almost forgotten about it till I see those 2 people. Yeah.
Yes, we're very lucky that we don't have to be concerned with polio the way people did in your generation. So, okay, well, I guess that is it for today. Thank you, Mimi, for telling us your
Love doing
memories. And I guess we'll see you guys next time. If you're interested, I have another interview with my Mimi where she told us about her recollections regarding hookworm. So if you're interested in what she has to say about that, then you can check out that video. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.